What up, Lucid Crew? Welcome back to the channel. I am Lucid Rob, and today we're going to watch more videos from all over the internet. Weird, creepy, unsettling, scary stuff that freaks me out and makes me want to burn my house down and put out the fire with holy water. All that good stuff. You're going to love it. Stick around. Lucid Crew, my subscribers, my members, my Discord peeps, thank you so much for your support. A lot of these videos have been submitted by you, so I appreciate that. If you're watching this and you want to send me some videos to watch, click on the link in the description for the Discord and send me some stuff. Until then, let's get into it.
If this is true, it changes everything. According to historical records, the first ancient civilization known to us is that of the ancient Sumerians. The Sumerians existed over 6,000 years ago, predating the Egyptians by 1,000 years. They resided in a region known as Mesopotamia, which encompasses present-day Iraq and parts of Iran, Kuwait, Syria, and Turkey. The Sumerians referred to themselves as black-headed ones, or black-headed people, and held a belief in gods known as the Anunnaki, described as children of the earth and skies. Some researchers speculate that the ancient Sumerians had a remarkable understanding of the universe, as depicted in artifacts showing the solar system with planets orbiting the sun. Adding to their intrigue are depictions of ancient handbags and bracelets. The Sumerians made groundbreaking inventions, including the wheel, alphabet, and the calendar we use today. They also developed irrigation systems for farming and established a system to measure time in seconds, minutes, and hours. Some believe that knowledge was bestowed upon them. The Sumerian civilization appears to have been one of the most advanced of its time, challenging modern explanations of our history. The discovery of 30,000 stone tablets from ancient Sumeria includes the story called the Epic of Gilgamesh, which features a great flood, an event also found in many other religious texts. Scientists link the end of the last ice age to several temperature anomalies and a significant rise in sea levels, likely caused by an asteroid impact. This catastrophic event may have led to the rapid melting of ice and widespread devastation to various species, including animals, plants, and humans. Some speculate that the tale of the Great Flood is not a mere myth, but a way of passing down knowledge through generations to ensure its survival. Recent findings, such as Göbekli Tepe in Upper Mesopotamia, dating back at least 11,600 years, have questioned the age and origins of the Sumerians. It is still uncertain where the ancient Sumerians originated from, and some theories suggest they may have migrated south into southern Mesopotamia, where the people of Göbekli Tepe became the Sumerians we know today. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think happened to the Sumerians? Were they wiped out by the flood, the Younger Dryas, the Great Flood? But on top of that, do you think that they were just like a civilization that was around so long that they developed all those traits and skills themselves? Or do you think that the Anunnaki came down and granted them all of these gifts and traits and things? I don't know. Let me know.
Eric Hecker released some bombshells in this press conference about the base that he was referring to in his accounts.
The season that I was there, 2010 to 2011, unfortunately, when they first fired it up, that was when we had the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand. This is an earthquake generating device as well. This is the weapons of war that we have to deal with now. I witnessed myself a very powerful green laser shooting out of the top of this facility into the cosmos. I am not saying that we need to be scared of anything that's out there, but please understand the military-industrial complex is happy to invest all of your money in alleviating their fears.
I mean, I don't know about this specific case. I'm not doubting it by any means. I just don't know anything about it. I think it's very likely. I mean, the military budget has been massive in the U.S. for, I mean, I think as long as it's been around, right? And like, I'm all for, military, protecting your country. And even though a lot of the times it's used to not so much defend and more so on the offense. But yeah, this definitely would not surprise me if we were developing secret, highly advanced stuff to hit our goal in whatever the scenario is without having actually putting men on the ground, right? I mean, we've been going away from that forever. We had wars we fought with swords, and then we fought with guns, and then we started doing, planes, and then, drones, and just slowly getting away from actually needing human troops to do the work in a lot of situations. So this would not be surprising at all. I mean, that's just how progress works, right? In every area. In this case, it just happens to be weapons.
There is a village in Peru that is being attacked by aliens. The mothers and children can't sleep because they're scared of these things. Have I not been saying these Nephilim are coming back? Have I not been saying we are in the days of Noah? So you got people in Peru saying that they are food for these aliens. Huh. In the days of Noah, the Nephilim were eating man. Also in the days of Noah, they were mixing DNA. The fallen ones were trying to mix the DNA of mankind. Now what's going on right now? They're trying to mix DNA. Look, this too much for TikTok.
So I think the Nephilim, if they were as powerful as they were said to be, I don't think they would be hiding. I don't think they would be going to like just like one remote town and hiding and just like casually sneaking up and eating people and stuff. I think they would probably just come down and take shit over. But then again, I don't know. I don't know how they did it back in the day. They could have done the same fucking thing thousands of years ago. So I don't know. Let me know what you think this is with this whole Peru face eater stuff. I haven't seen a lot about it, just a few small clips here and there. So if you have more information, let me know. Share it. Thank you.
I told you it was coming. I said they'd go for central bank digital currencies, a cashless society, and the arguments for it are clear. It'll be quick, easy, cheap to transact. There'll be no problems at all, no loose change lying around. There'll be lots and lots of arguments for it. Well, this week, the Chancellor of the Exchequer and the Bank of England have said by 2030, Britcoin, a central bank digital currency, will be up and running. It will, to begin with, be limited in scope, but with huge ambitions for the years to come. I think this could pose some real threats. It actually gives government pretty much total control over our lives because they can just press a button and close our bank accounts. No, they wouldn't do that now, would they? Well, think about it. Those Canadian truckers, they were legally and lawfully going about their business driving trucks, but legislation came in demanding that unless they'd been double vaxxed, they couldn't continue in their cabins doing long-distance lorry driving. And they protested, and in the end, their bank accounts were closed down by the Canadian government. Well, with a central bank digital currency, anyone that decides to stand up and fight against the government could be pressed down simply with the push of a button. That is my concern. What is it all going to mean? Well, joining me down the line is Leah Harpan. She's a podcaster, but also the author of Undressing Bitcoin, not Britcoin, Bitcoin. Leah, thank you and welcome for joining me this evening.
I mean, that's how it works. That's how it starts. A little bit of control here and there for the greater good, for things that, you know, are helpful. And then they take a little too much. We're like, hey, chill, it's too much. Like, oh, we're sorry, and we back off a little bit. But then they're like, do it again and again and again, and it's always just like more and more and more. It's literally just like we're giving like 2 steps of our control away and then taking 1 step back. I don't know, man. I don't have all the answers. I'm not here to save the world. I'm just here to watch TikTok videos and give my opinion on them based off of my life experiences. So if you agree with me, cool. If you don't, cool. Either way, thanks for watching. I don't fucking know. I don't know what to say about all this.
You know about the connections between the opioid epidemic and the war on terror? I was doing some research about what really happened on 9/11, getting ready to launch a channel on that app that rhymes with WhoCube.
Coming soon. It's going to be tight.
And I got sidetracked by the connections between the war on terror and the opioid crisis. So just to clarify, you realize that we went to war with terrorism, which in the year 2000 in the US killed 0 people? That's right, 0. But all these other problems, they were pretty big. We won't get into how cardiovascular disease is correlated to the poison in the food that we're being fed by corporations. Because excluding the 3,000 people that were killed on September 11th, terrorism kills on average 8 people a year for this time range. Whereas 431 people a year die in their bathtubs, 200 die in deer accidents, and we're out here declaring war on terrorism? And if you've ever seen the Zeitgeist documentary, then you would have seen this slide where it said that in 80, Afghanistan produced no opium. Then after we backed the Mujahideen taking power in 86, they produced 40% of the world's heroin supply. By 99, that was 80% of the total world supply. Then when the Taliban rose to power in the year 2000, they outlawed it and destroyed all the poppy fields and reduced production by 94%. Excuse me? Why was I not taught about this in school? And let's be clear, the Taliban is pretty reprehensible. The way they treat women can go to hell. Not trying to defend the Taliban here at all. And then on September 9th, 2001, 2 days before September 11th, the full Afghanistan invasion plans were on President Bush's desk. That sounds like quite the conspiracy theory now, doesn't it? Sounds a little far-fetched, but if you notice, they're citing sources in the corner. And I went and looked up all three of these different sources. This book, which is very thorough and has tons of citations of its sources. These reports, which are put out by the UN. And yes, even the NBC article describing the plan to invade Afghanistan, which hit Bush's desk 2 days before September 11th, found that one too. So if you were alive back then, you'd remember how we were first told we have to go to war over there to stop terror, because that's what you do when something kills 8 people every year. And side note, you would also remember that we had this weird pivot that was kind of confusing from this is the Taliban to, oh, and this guy has WMDs, which were proven to not really exist. So we should probably go depose him and take over that too, which is a whole other rabbit hole. I'm looking at you, Donald Rumsfeld, Halliburton, Dick Cheney. So let me walk you through how Big Pharma played a massive role in the opioid epidemic, which most people my generation lost friends to. Many friends to. First, it's prescription drugs. Then your prescription runs out and you turn to, and then, why not develop stronger, more effective versions of that one, which takes off, just a few years later. At the height of the opioid epidemic, 8 out of 10 Americans were prescribed an opioid every year. Let me remind you that this was not an accident. Pharma intentionally lied, misled, committed fraud, gave kickbacks to doctors for prescribing these things. I'm trying to go fast here, but you can look up all this information for yourself. The Sackler family had to pay about $6 billion in fines for Purdue Pharma's role in all this, and they're still worth plenty of money. By 2015, at the height of the nation's opioid epidemic, Johnson & Johnson was the leading supplier of the raw ingredients in painkillers in the United States. They even had their own special strain of poppy. This is reported by the New York Times, who just also happened to report that Afghanistan produced 83% of the world's opium from 2015 to 2020. Weird. I suppose that means it's mathematically impossible that Johnson & Johnson isn't running these fields. At least some of them. Allegedly, TikTok, allegedly. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not trying to state facts. The whole video is satire, by the way. So it's all just like a harebrained conspiracy theory with no evidence to back it up. But it's, kind of weird that all of this was easily sourced using public information available on Google. Sources like the National Institute of Health and the UN, mainstream media like NBC and the New York Times. You'd think that if there was really clear evidence that big pharmaceutical companies were profiting hugely off of the opioid crisis, which was strangely connected to the war on terror, that they would at least try to hide the information a little better. Allegedly, obviously, none of this is real. I'm obviously don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just glad that history doesn't repeat itself and that now we have just wars. Speaking of which,
No comment. No, I was addicted to opioids for years, man, for like a long time, from like my mid-teens to like late 20s, off and on, quite a few times. I had a few really close scares, had a few overdoses. Yeah, it was a real problem. It was a real big problem, man. I'm glad all this stuff is coming to light. Allegedly, just let people know. But yeah, scary times, man. Scary times. And if anybody out there's going through anything, struggling with any addictions or any issues, man, just know that it does get better if you want it to. And just keep working toward that. Just keep the people that legitimately care and want to see you do better around you. And you gotta get rid of the people that enable you, the people that don't support you in getting better, and the people that don't believe that you're able to do that. I don't care if they're family, friends, whatever. I've cut them all off myself. At one point. So do what's best for you physically, mentally, emotionally, and appreciate this life that we have, man, because it's pretty great most of the time.
I saw this on old Joe Rogie talking to the scientists about the Oumuamua object that they found in space in October 2017. It's this elongated thing that's like the size of a football field. And it's the first object that they've been able to track in our solar system that came from outside of our solar system.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, oh, it's a meteor, but there is no cosmic tail coming off of it.
Yeah.
And so the scientist guys is like, I'm gonna like dive into it and like try to figure it out. But it was traveling so fast that it wasn't attached to anything gravitational wise. Like when it got closer to the sun, it sped up to pass the sun.
Wow. So it was like intelligent enough.
Yeah, well, they're like, what could it be?
It changes speeds.
Changes speeds, and he said the light on it would change too. It was this past September, they found an object that already in our solar system, and it turns out that object was a rocket booster from one of the lunar trips, but like everything about it didn't match what they saw.
Yeah.
It just behaved this. I saw this on old Joe Rogie talking to the scientist.
If I remember this correctly, it sped up and went off in an unnatural direction as well on its way out. I think it changed trajectory, at least enough for it to be like not just slingshotting around the sun. I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. You'll have to look it up yourself, but Oumuamua, that is a pretty big deal for space enthusiasts like myself.
I promise you, this video is gonna be the craziest video you're gonna see today. This woman is Felicity Marmaduke. She worked in a morgue and she was in charge of washing the bodies before they buried them. And one day when she was doing her job, a new body came in. She took the dead body to the shower to wash it, but then she noticed something. Somehow, some way, the dead body became aroused, like she could see the boner forming. And she did something with the dead body. And ended up pregnant! Oh my fucking god, man. Why? Why would you ever do something like that? Thankfully, she was arrested right away, but the story doesn't end here because she gave birth to the baby, but she didn't really have a lot of money. So she sued the family of this dead man, saying that they needed to pay her child support. As of today, this case is not concluded, but I swear to God, if she wins this case, I'm moving to Jupiter.
I love that there are so many different forms of crazy, just never-ending types of insanity that we get to experience every single day that we live on this planet.
Did you know? So apparently the English language is full of spells that we cast upon ourselves. Think about it. We awake in the morning. What is awake? Pretty sure that's a funeral. So we awake in the morning. Oh, like mourning the death of something? And then we go to work all week. You know, like week. So we work on the weekdays, like weekdays, in a state of stunned confusion. So you know we work all week until the weekend when we're, weekend. And the reason we even go to work is to earn a living, earn a living, like put our living in an urn. Sounds like we're getting the weekend of the deal. See, weekend. Let's not mention the fact that they literally call it spelling, and we learn to write in cursive. Well, we used to. Let's break down the word child. Child, like chai as in chi, like a vital life force. Old, so like a vital life force getting old. How about parents? Pair who rents the child. Don't even get me started on what words used to mean and what they mean now. Like the word nice. In Latin, it literally means ignorant. There's so many double meanings to so many words. It's crazy. This rabbit hole is deep, y'all.
Yes, that is true. Multiple words have multiple meanings and different spellings. That, my friend, is called language. And you've just discovered the English language. Congratulations.
If you knew this in school, you would be the smartest person in your school. That is because this is how everything we study works. It is the concept of oscillation or vibration. Let me show you how it works. Let's break this wave up into a band like our eyes and our ears do. If we take the bottom right corner of the spectrum and connect it with the top left, we can see how these blend into each other. That is how we mix notes in music and colors in art. You are now an artist. That is fun, but what about the not fun stuff, like math? To figure out where any of those balls are, we just need the x and the y measurement. That is trigonometry. If I keep doubling how fast that wave is going, it starts to add these nodes, circles within circles. Enough of these nodes creates the illusion of 3D and the study of spheres. Since we know trigonometry, the trig of all of these circles that make the sphere is calculus and the basis for physics. The interaction of these spheres gives us the torus. The torus shows us how electrons orbit a nucleus, creating these patterns that interact with other patterns, creating matter. You have now unlocked particle physics. Before we get too advanced, we need to go back to the sphere, because the interaction of these spheres is a study in itself. Studying the interaction of spheres gives us geometry. Geometry. From here, we can see how nature uses this, and then use it in our own designs, like in architecture or engineering. With a better understanding of how nature builds things, we can use that information to build our own things. Now, if we go back and look at the shape of atoms, then they start to make sense. Vibrations above atoms make molecules, vibrations above molecules make all the stuff. Vibrations above the stuff create stuff within stuff. It's called an emulsion. Like this, it creates a moving system with boundaries, allowing more interactions with more stuff. Above that, we get systems that organize and replicate, creating primitive forms of life. Find out what you and your kids are interested in and use that.
Life itself is just literally an incredible thing. It is so complex, but seemingly so simple, like on the outside and on the surface. But along with that, like human beings are just equally as incredible for being able to figure this stuff out, like just down to the molecule, and just continuously learning and experimenting and testing in order to learn more and learn more and learn more about the answers behind everything, like life and stuff. So I know it's super, super neat. I love how curious humans are. It's probably my favorite quality, outside of just like being kind, and the ongoing curiosity that kind of gives us our like passion and our interests, and allows us to keep progressing and working together and stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's super cool to me. It's a beautiful thing. And no, I'm not high right now.
You know, some people call me crazy for my conspiracy videos, but sometimes the proof is right in your face. Let's Google patent 6506148B2, aka Project Mind Control. It's a patent by our government proving frequency manipulation can be used to affect our central nervous system by using TV, phone, and computer screens. And yes, this is very real. It notes that computer monitors and TV monitors can be used to emit weak, low-frequency electromagnetic fields merely by pulsing the intensity of displayed images. That includes video streaming, video games, TV broadcasts, and music. They basically can control your mind through all forms of media. It has been found that indeed physiological effects can be induced in a manner by very weak electrical fields if they are pulsed with a frequency of near 1/2 hertz. The observed effect include ptosis of the eyelids, relaxation or drowsiness, feeling of pressure at the center spot of the lower edge of the eyebrow, and sexual excitement. So they manipulate you through excitement, which is why they have to go through forms of entertainment. Certain monitors can be electromagnetic field pulse that excites a sensory resonance in a nearby subject through image pulses that are so weak as to be subliminal. Such applications could be unethical, of course. And here it says it's only mentioned here in order to alert the public of the possibility of a cover abuse that may occur with being online watching TV, video, or DVD. Now, with all the phones we have, all the 5G towers they put up everywhere, streaming services we watch, commercials we see telling us to buy, and music we listen to, do you think this technology isn't applied to that?
So it's funny because while I'm recording this video, it is like 10 after 1 right now, where I'm at in Florida. And everyone is saying that today on October 4th, like Armageddon is going to happen or something crazy is going to happen during a nationwide or worldwide broadcast test, right? That's supposed to happen here in about an hour. I don't know, but this video is going to get posted tomorrow. So if we're still here watching tomorrow, awesome. And if not, this is my goodbye to you.
Okay, guys, so I wanted to make this to set the record straight. You've probably seen a video like this floating around saying this is what angels actually look like. They don't look like human form with wings. Okay, but I'm going to set the record straight because the answer is they actually look like both. Now, there's a Bible verse and it's Ezekiel 1 and it's pretty much the whole verse where he describes angels as multiple different creatures, sometimes with 4 heads, sometimes with 4 wings, sometimes with wheels covered in eyes so they can watch over demons, make sure they're not up to anything bad. But there is also another verse, which is Hebrews 13:2, which says, "Do not be forgetful to entertain strangers, because you may be entertaining angels unaware," which means angels can also take human form. So the answer is both.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you right now. And if that is what angels look like, nope. That's a hard pass. It's a hard pass for me. I'm not a religious person. I say this all the time, but that fucking thing was creepier than any photo of any demon I've ever seen in my life. I don't know. That's just me, maybe. But that thing was fucking terrifying. I do not want that thing watching over me. But then again, I guess if something were to protect you and you were to have that thing on your side, you would want it to be pretty fucking gnarly and intimidating, right? So I guess if you could choose, you would want your guardian angel to be just like a massive, terrifying, just bad motherfucker, right? So I don't know, maybe I would. You know what? Yeah, you know what? Bring him on. Bring him on. Where you guys at? Where you guys at? But with that being said, guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope we are still here to watch this video when it airs tomorrow. If this is your first time watching the channel and you liked what you saw, please consider liking, subscribing, joining the Discord, sending me videos you want me to watch, just engaging the community, man. The Lucid crew is so dope. You guys are so sick, and we love new members. The Discord's blowing up, the channel's blowing up. You guys have been great. Thank you so much to my moderators, to my subscribers, to my fans, to my donators, supporters, all of you. Just anything that you guys do that helps support this channel, I am just beyond appreciative of, because I love doing this shit because of you. Like, you make it so much more fun for me. So thank you so much again, and until next time, stay safe, take care of each other, be cool, peace out.